The Fosi Audio PH02. Let's talk about it. I know what you're going to say. This is an IEM focused channel, and this is not an IEM. But I will tell you, sir, I have blown more amps than you have ever owned. Okay, maybe not, but I've blown a lot of amps in my day, especially in the last year. Messing with impedance adapters was just a whole nother story. So how dare you? But let's get on to this review and talk about this device and whether it's a good amp for you and your possible usage. Now let's talk about what this amp is. This is a single input, a 3.5 input with 3.5 millimeter outputs with 5 volume knobs that you can see here and 1 giant volume knob. Now the giant volume knob actually hits the middle volume knob as it goes up, which is problematic. Now the knob feel is acceptable, it is fine, you can adjust your own volume, but it seems like kind of an interesting use case scenario. Like the middle one is kind of hard to turn. There's not a lot of use for it. I kind of honestly think maybe you could cut out that middle one and have no problem. You see the input on the left and the outputs on the right, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think it's very classy. I like my inputs to be on the back, and I kind of find it to be a little bit of a problem. The cable that comes with this is a very nice cable. I like it. But, and this is kind of what you would imagine it looking like. This is the Pilgrim cable right here. And so, you'd have your cables kind of looking out like this. And I don't necessarily think this is a bad look, but I think it's something to note, and I don't think it looks that great from a cable management standpoint. I would prefer it if it were in the back. Now, the power supply for this is nothing too fancy. You plug it in the back. I mean, it's out of sight and out of mind, so that's good. I wanted to show you some clips from their own promo footage. This is the PH04 that it replaces. These are the specifications. Has good output power, but about the same as a dongle. It has certain recommended output impedance. We'll talk about the impedance later. It only has the 3.5 millimeter in, and it has 5 millimeter outs. Now, there are a lot of different uses you could do this. Possibly shared listening for educational materials, possibly for studio use, and a lot of different things you could use this for. But do you even need an amp? Every part of the chain is important, but I kind of wanted to express my feeling on how much everything is. I think cables are earth. They only matter till they don't. The sun is DAC amps. They are very important. They are something that you should be interested in, but it's not something you need to stress out about, especially if you think there's no problems. Now, this is a huge start right here, and this is what I think transducers are. I personally feel that transducers are the most important thing, but just like breathing, just like water, if one part of your chain goes bad, it's all bad. Like sometimes, even ear tips are even the most important thing. So as we describe the sound, I want you to remember that it's very, very minor, very small hues, and almost insignificant things. So we've talked about amps. We've talked about the basics of this product and what it could be for, but it doesn't get the recommendation that we want to give. For $50, if you think you need this product and you're on the fence, I'll push you over and I'll tell you, hey, go for it. If you're like me and you're at home and you don't really need to share your IEMs with somebody other than maybe a splitter cable, I think a splitter cable might be a cheaper way to go. I do have feedback on this product that I did want to give Fosi Audio my opinion on this. I think the middle jack can just go away. I think the middle volume knob could be smaller. I would honestly consider doing different volume placements. Like, I personally think getting different inputs would be better. Like doing, say, 6.5 millimeter connectors would be a little bit better than the 3.5 on the front. I think 5 outputs is a little bit overkill for most users. I like the idea of this amp, but I didn't really find myself using it in a daily basis. I found when I plugged in my IEMs, I got a lot of noise floor to this, and so it didn't really enhance the sound. I do use headphones, and I do like headphones a lot. I even have a mini headphone ranking list as well, but it's just one of those things. I don't really buy as many headphones because I'm happy with the 2 headphones that I have. So it's not really a necessity for me, but I'm ready. If anyone has headphones to send me, please feel free to. Point being, I think this is kind of one of those products that has a very specific use case. This is not a normal amplifier. This is more like a signal amplifier or a splitter amplifier to share your signal with other people. If you're going just a straight amplifier or you just wanted something that was good, Fosi Audio has a really nice DB02, a nice little dongle DAC with even more power than this, and that's something that I would recommend over this device. Suffice it to say, I appreciate this, but see, we have our splitter cable here. I think a splitter cable is going to work for a lot of people. If this is a case that you feel that you would need an amplifier that would split your signal in 5 different ways with individual volume control, I could see this is possibly a good use case scenario, but not something that I'm going to tell all my IEM friends that you got to buy this right now. I think it's okay. I think it's something to consider if this is your use case scenario, but the fact that it doesn't have our 6.5 millimeter connectors, that you would have to buy these little connectors like the black and the red one that are kind of expensive at like $10 each just to be able to plug your over-ears into it. It's not ideal, right? It's not ideal. You have to get some connectors to make this work for a lot of headphone users. So as a headphone, if you're a headphone first user, I would maybe consider different options first, but this isn't the worst possible thing you could do. You can tell it is kind of close to keep these in here. Solid product, possible recommendation, but not something that everybody needs to go out and buy. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and you guys have a great day.
You're still here. It's over. Go home. Go watch another IEM video. It's done. That's the entire video. What more do you want?